So the Sooners got a very fun-filled end of July and month from that, August, as two big-time players that the Sooners are after will announce their commitments. So we got to dive into both of those players because they're both a big deal. Luckily, one of them has actually already been on the show, did an interview with Coop not too long ago. Y'all can check that out. I'll make sure to point that out in a second. And the other one did a good interview with our boy PG over at the PG Show. You can hear his own thoughts about Oklahoma as well. So let's jump into Michael Fasusi as well as Floyd Boucard. Two trench guys, offensive lineman and a defensive lineman, looking at Oklahoma. And I'm going to be honest, got a little confidence in. Let's dive into it. Before we do that, welcome to Sooner or Later Sports. I'm your host, Jay. Thank y'all for pulling up to the channel. Y'all know what it is. This is our Sooner recruiting channel, so apologies on the delay on some videos. We're going to get back on track because guess what? We've only got like 6 Saturdays left till football hits. So let's look at Fasusi, let's look at Boucard, and then I'll let you know at the end just how confident I feel in both. First up, let's talk about Floyd Boucard, the defensive lineman that Oklahoma has really been hot and heavy on. And actually one of the first teams to show him love. As you can see here with Floyd, 6'2.5", about 315, defensive lineman out of Miami Central High School in Miami, Florida. But he's from Montreal, Quebec. He is a Canadian, which is even more interesting. He's a consensus and a composite 3-star defensive lineman. So he's, in my honest opinion, he's underrated. Rivals has him as a 4-star. They think he's a top 20 defensive lineman in the country. Everybody else has him roughly in the 40s range as far as prospects, but he's one that a lot of teams are after. So when we talk about stars, y'all know the one thing that I always point out to you all is pay attention to who's offering, right? Tom Lloyd over at 247 had dropped a prediction that he'd go to USC, but it sounds like that may not stick. It sounds like a lot of teams are in the match. Right now, his top 4 consist of Alabama, Oklahoma, USC, and Miami. So the hometown Miami Canes, your Sooners, Bama has been surging at the end as of late, and then all the way out there at USC. And the list is still impressive. Like I said, if you got Bama after you, it's probably a reason as far as talent-wise. And he grew up playing hockey, right? So he's a physical dude. But the list of teams that have started to pick up steam on him, LSU's giving him an offer, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, as well as Missouri. A lot of your big Oregon jumped on it. And you know if Oregon's in there, boy. Penn State as well. So a lot of your big-time programs with big-time defensive linemen, they have interest in Floyd. And that tells you everything. But back to what I was saying, Floyd has played hockey back in the day, right? He grew up playing hockey, so he's super physical, big, strong, and he has the potential of being massively elite out there on the field. And so I'm stoked at the fact that we were one of the first ones to offer him, right? We were the first ones on him. We were the first ones really showing him the love that he was looking for, and Floyd had recognized that. I've heard him say that in interviews, talked about a lot of that with Coop. He has an affinity and a love for Oklahoma specifically because of the love they showed him so early. You can't beat that, right? So I anticipate Oklahoma being deep in this game long term. The question's going to be, can we close? That's always going to be the question there, but I don't know. July 20th is his date. Appears that he is pretty excited about that. And yeah, I think there's a good chance that we can, work our way in and land this one. It's going to be tough. I think Alabama, like I said, has been surging. USC is still a factor here, no matter what, because he's from, and I mean, a lot of people would think, oh, he's in Miami. That would be too far, right? Well, I mean, he's from Canada. So for him, the distance, I don't think he cares about any place in the country. He's just playing high school football right now in Miami. He'd go around a lot of places. So if I'm going to say leaders, I think it feels like Alabama-Oklahoma battle. I think USC is still around there. I think Miami may potentially out. I think he may go ahead and decide to move around. I think moving around may be his best bet. But if him and his family are comfortable in Miami, he may stick. So that's Floyd. Hop in the comments. Let your boy know your thoughts. Love to hear what you all think. Think we got a chance to land him? Because, I mean, I'm hype on the boy. But we'll see what it looks like. All right. Now we got to talk about this big-time offensive lineman, keeping it in the trenches. I think this is the two positions where Oklahoma will wrap things up when it comes to recruiting. It appears that the big-time names are going after. We lost out on Lamont Rogers, unfortunately, at Missouri. He really likes Missouri and what they had to offer. I don't think Oklahoma's going to stop on Lamont Rogers. I think they're going to continue to push, but we'll see. Andrew Babalola is still floating. I'm sensing that's a Stanford, Michigan play. You know, the schooling was huge. When I saw those two names were in there, I was like, oh, okay. All about them academics. But let's look at this guy. Michael Fasusi, consensus and composite 5-star offensive tackle, 6'5", 300-plus pounder, a man. And everybody has him at least 32nd in the country on their listing. As you see this, On3 has him as a 4-star, but they do the top 32 NFL draft picks as 5 stars. Technically, he's a 5-star on their list. They'll probably update that to make him a 5-star plus on their next ratings update, which will come right around the season starting. But Fasusi's a beast, right? He is a beast. And he's one of those players that's considered he's in Lewisville, Texas, but he's one of those players that's considered to be ready to play now, right? Like we saw Jordan Seaton over there at Colorado go in there and play like day one. He's going to be probably starting there at Colorado. Similar to Caden Proctor over there at Alabama. People believe that Michael Fasusi is one of those that's ready to start day one. And the one thing that's helped Oklahoma in the recruitment of him is every visit, he talks about how much he loves Bill Beatonbow. He talks about how Bill Beatonbow is the GOAT. He raves about the family atmosphere at Oklahoma. He raves about Beatonbow and the staff. And so if that, to me, since that's the case, what I sense is that he may really, really like Oklahoma on the heaviness, right? I mean, he's come here a lot. He's done a lot of visits here at Oklahoma. When I went through On3's setup, I was looking, I was like, okay, how many visits has he done, right? He's done 7 visits to Oklahoma. He's done 6 to Texas, 4 to A&M, 2 to Missouri, 2 to Oregon, and I anticipate him making another visit to Oklahoma soon. Hopefully he comes to the party at the Palace at the end of the month. If that one pulls up, then I am sold on Oklahoma landing Fasusi, but we still got time, man. He put out his tweet with his top 5. His top 5, of course, is Oregon, Missouri, gotta have that. You got Texas, Texas A&M, as well as Oklahoma. He's making his announcement on August 21st. So you've got, that's around the time that David Stone made his announcement too, right? So if there was a recruitment here, and if y'all want to know my opinion with all of this, I feel like Michael Fasusi's our David Stone recruitment. It's one of those that even though Fasusi's not from here, he has a much love for here. He really likes the hometown feel of Oklahoma and Norman. He's not really big city guy. He's more of a calm dude, and you can tell just in his conversations that you've seen in interviews. Pretty tapered down guy. And so I feel like this is our David Stone recruitment. This is our 5-star David Stone setup. And by the time the cycle's over, we should have possibly 2 5-stars. I think Ryan Fogier will jump up even more and end up in the top 30 in the country. But Fasusi's the tackle that we want. We've been wanting him from jump, and I feel like he's the dude that's probably going to land here. He feels like the David Stone recruitment for us. And as much as he's talked about Bill Beatonbow being the GOAT and how much he raves about the relationship, that's what sold me on it. So that's my thoughts on Fasusi for Boucard. I think it's going to be a play on the fact that we were very early on him. Like with Lamont Rogers with Missouri. Missouri was on Rogers day one. They were early. They were one of the first ones to show him love, and they didn't stop. We did the same thing with Floyd Boucard, and I think that that's one that's going to help us. So personally, I think we land them both. Y'all know what it is. Let me know what you think. Hop in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. How do y'all feel about Oklahoma's chances of landing the 5-star O-tackle and this nice, underappreciated defensive tackle in Floyd Boucard? You made it this far, like the content, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe. We would love for y'all to join this family of Sooner recruiting fans, talking all OU Sooner recruiting here. Had a blast doing it. All right, you can check out the main channel. We'll be going live, of course, on Sunday. I'll be down in Dallas at the SEC Media Day, so Coop most likely going to be running things. But we'll be around, and we're going to kick it. So pull up and join us. We'll talk soon. Peace.